Oh no, are we doing this? Are we really doing this? Starting officially with animal-based characters, I can feel this being a slippery slope into proper anthropomorphic territory. Alright, let's begin. What is this? Thanks Ryan120 for the suggestion on Discord. Now, we've seen some pretty bad movies here on this channel. I think what comes to mind as the bottom 5 would have to be Bulk, Slender, Billy, Bone Alone, and Color City. But this? This might well be a new contender for the bottom tier of terribles. To give a little context, Zoo Wars here isn't made by a properly financed production company. It's an independent film, as is the case with some of the other bottom tier works too. And looking into it a little more, the name that is attached to this movie is Wownow Entertainment, and according to my research, they were previously known as Dream Machine Animation, Toe Jams, and Brainy Pants. They are an entertainment company that are notorious for producing low-budget movies in a similar way as the Asylum. Oh yes, we found another goldmine of content. Further to that, they're apparently a primarily Christian production, which, yeah, I guess I can see the influence popping up in a few places. And since the project is so lowbrow, if I was to search for a little old review score for the thumbnail, there literally wouldn't be one. So, with no prior knowledge, let's get into the wacky world of Zoo Wars.
It is a time of chaos in the Zooverse.
Oh wow, okay, we're just gonna wear our influences on our sleeves, huh? Star Wars, Zoo Wars. Couldn't make it more obvious than that.
Bongo bananas.
Pretty sure that says Bongo bananas, my dude.
Boo Boo Squeal.
Okay, Boo Boo Squeal. Uh-huh.
Princess Sparkle Feather.
Princess Sparkle Feather. Hold on, can these names get any more esoteric? So I hope you got all that, because we're now to meet our primary antagonist, the mouse.
I can already feel the chosen one within my grasp.
Yes, and what you're going to notice right quick is the voices of all of these characters are so over the top it will literally sound like a theater play this entire time. You can pin that on the director, but we're not even close to scratching that part of this whole enigma. For now, just take delight in knowing that this film is only 70 minutes long. They could barely stretch this out to an hour. We're still gonna find a million issues in it though. So this is Boo Boo Squeal, and after giving the most blatant exposition of the most basic plot about the chosen one and wanting to rule the Zooverse, his minion hippo starts the very first joke of the movie.
No, you're so cute when you're evil.
Yes, this counts as a joke in the Zooverse. Also, holy cow, you know who this guy sounds like exactly like? Ed from Ed, Edd and Eddy. Did they literally nab that voice actor to bring him over here? Gosh, I hope not. That man's a national treasure. Oh, it turns out no, it's not him, thank God. But this guy is known for making sole appearances in only bad CG animated movies. Alright then. Anyway, 1 2-minute title sequence later, and we meet our protagonist. He's dead from the shoulder up. He's Nuke the elephant. Yeah, maybe he is the perfect hero to this story. He's upset about having to work at this boring office job as his Vector the crocodile-sounding boss berates him. Nuke bursts into action telling us all the basic deets, you know.
I'm Nuke Tiptoes. I belong in the open spaces of the galaxy.
Because that's good writing. All the while, there's absolutely no music. And then we transition right to the same old room. Oh boy. What follows next is a mysterious voice begins talking in Nuke's ear, and he sounds just like Ed from Ed, Edd and Eddy. Gee, I wonder who it is. The voice tells him that adventure awaits and he just has to press enter, though apparently even the voice actor can't keep a straight face.
Forget the peanuts, Nuke. Hit enter and your destiny will be changed forever.
Okay, so that's a pretty basic plot line so far. Here's a question for you. How is this office scene 4 minutes long? Well, I'll tell you how. This dumb elephant takes every opportunity to hesitate, and then when he finally starts to do something, the voice starts to hesitate too. They never add anything more, they just keep on looping around the same arguments again.
Will you just hit enter already? Wait!
All right, I'm ready.
Wait!
But now I'm not so sure anymore. Unless... here it goes. Right? Well, never mind.
Had to take a quick bathroom break.
Here goes nothing.
And so we're moving on to a spaceship with this guy, B-52. It's at this point that it's really obvious that this animation is bad and looping a lot. Why does it all look like that? Well, it's because this movie was made with not some actual animation software. This has been entirely created in Unreal Engine. It's a video game engine running like a movie, and the effort put into this is just subliminal. I mean, I guess that's not too surprising because this movie has literally no budget. This movie cost nothing. Not a penny was spent on it. And this is the trash we get for that fact. The camera looks fancy and does some weird blurring things occasionally, but everything is about as flat as it can be. If they use the engine properly, they might be able to make some damn good lighting, but the robot is just constantly glowing, whilst Nuke is not. They even have the tools, just not the competence. So B-52 is our knockoff C-3PO. He tells us we're on the Sparkle Express, this isn't ever important, and how Princess Sparklefeather is the leader of the nice side. Just a massive, boring exposition dump. But it does lead into the best joke of the entire movie.
Sorry, I don't keep up with social media much.
I didn't say it was a good joke, though. Still, they're on a mission to save the princess as she's been captured and have to find a rebel squirrel called, Squeezy Whistle. Who comes up with these terrible names? Well, that's enough of a paper-thin plotline. What's next? Oh, it's Boo Boo Squill again, talking to a lizard, apparently. This guy delivered the princess and wants his reward. 3 gnats. Boo Boo Squill refuses, and that's the scene. We're not gonna see this lizard guy ever again, or this giraffe lady I skipped from earlier, whose voice is way too quiet to be heard. We're just skimming along at this point. Nuke has to worry about a meteor storm for a while, and then he dives into a portal.
We're in the sauce dimension,
Oh no.
where all is sauce.
We're not gonna go there. I'm stopping this early. Nope. So the source is just the force. And the rest of the writing is just too bad, too often to get into. Mentioning social media again, pointless lines of dialogue, bits I still don't even understand. So let's just move ahead. They teleport to Squeezy Whistle, who needs to be their ally, and he refuses. Also, I just have to point out, this just looks like VR chat, honestly, with how disjointed all these character designs and textures are. It's awful. Why am I here? On to Boo Boo Squill, and we once again get the
You're so cute when you're evil, Boo Boo.
line, except now they properly drag it out to be a back and forth. What? Nothing. You said. I did say. Don't say that. I'll say it again. And we're back to the guys again, now being attacked all together by Coot Carburetor? Their name doesn't even appear in the credits, so I can't even tell what the squirrel says. So here's their excuse for an action scene, with the 2 spaceships flinging around each other, all the while on the inside, no movement, no momentum at all. And then it's over. Quality. And before we continue, come join us. We are on the cusp of 300,000 subscribers, which is just mind-blowing. So thank you so much for joining up to this point if you have already. Otherwise, come check out the link highlight for today, our Twitter. At DazzReviews, I tweet side things like scrap thumbnails if you're into a little bit of behind-the-scenes stuff. Check it out. So now it's time to meet our princess of the story, Princess Sparklefeather. Nothing in her design matches her name, and the texturing honestly makes her look naked the entire time. Great. To which Boo Boo Squill confronts her. Time for more exposition. It turns out this rat wanted to be part of the Nice Side Warriors, but was rejected for being a puny mouse. So this is a racism story, really. Also, why was there a Nice Side Warriors at all if the Mice Side didn't exist yet? So now he will use his source powers to take over the whole Zooverse.
No, it cannot be!
And the voice acting really gets you immersed, you know? But there's one thing in his way, the Chosen One, and the princess knows who it is. Time to torture her with the source powers.
Hoisin sauce.
No, not poison!
Teriyaki.
No, your power is strong.
Alfredo.
Is this a joke? Like, honestly, this is the best that cinema could come up with? Vodka sauce? They didn't even get creative with the names. I'm so tired, man. So, the nice guys just keep talking for a while, and you'll notice particularly here that any background character, if they don't need to move, won't. They just won't move at all. Just completely dead animation. So apparently now, Squeezy Whistle was dating Princess Sparklefeather, hence why he's needed, as she's left him a message. After a drawn-out argument, B-52 then says he won't play the message until Squeezy says sorry, and so they draw it out even more. This isn't even plot, it's just padding. The message is told, find Bongo bananas, and they drag it right out.
Hey, my My walnuts are just fine, Dr. Phil.
And we move on. This movie is just 70 minutes long, but my God, the pacing is so slow, I'm dying of old age over here. They even talk about Bongo Bananas dying in a black hole, but are we gonna get to see it? Absolutely not. It's just sitting and talking all day. Holy sh! This was a 10-minute scene! I can't believe I just went through all of that. And as a final thing, the princess accidentally name-dropped Squeezy Whistle. Alright, the plot is moving. Time to meet our Jabba the Hutt clone. What's a good ripoff name? Pizza the Hutt sounds good. What did Zoo Wars go with?
His name is Jabba the Jaw.
They kept the Jabba bit, but not... I couldn't do worse if I tried. But there's one more delay in the plot first. Another minion. Tata the Third is his name this time.
Me? Ugly face? You, ugly face.
And then they just shoot him.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
It's like a kid literally wrote this script. This happened, and then this happened, and no, there's no depth to anything going on here. You want to know what happens next? And for the first time ever, we actually get to see our characters walking. Whoa. Can we just stop? Am I allowed to cancel my own video? I don't want to do this anymore. I can't. Why are we walking into a strip club? Why is it edited like that? Why am I putting myself through this? I don't have to. We're 37 minutes in. Why does this feel like agony? Oh, shut up. At least you're not inside it. Come on, there's not much left. All right, let's get through this. The chickens are duplicates, the guards are duplicates, their animations repeat, and Jabba is a crocodile. Bongo Bananas is in fact alive, what a surprise, and is in hiding. Squeezy dies on the inside for like a solid minute or two, maybe, I haven't counted, but it felt like bloody forever in the scene, and Nuke proves he can hear Bongo after a long sequence of listening to nothing in his head multiple times, and then a longer sequence of trying to remember something until he eventually does. It's a source that Bongo's mentioned in his head earlier in the movie.
Bechamel!
Like, come on, what is this? It just teleports them? And this is Bongo Banana? So it's not the hippo as a double agent? It's just poorly diverse voice acting? This is lame. And it's starting to come off more like a Kung Fu Panda ripoff. What follows next is one last exposition dump. Oh my god, you have to be kidding me. This is another 10-minute scene? We're just standing and talking, spinning pointlessly as 2 out of 3 characters stare dead ahead in a comatose state.
Can we at least go back to the days of this typing animation? It's fun.
You'll never guess the revelation. Nuke is actually a master student of Bongo Bananas alongside Boo Boo Squill. However, Nuke went rogue and was defeated by Boo Boo and had his memories and powers wiped. That's actually a pretty cool thought. The protagonist was actually bad. And then they ruin it. Because all the while Boo Boo is also now turned evil, why can't we just wipe his mind? And after a whole lot of whoas and tangents, it's revealed that Nuke has the chosen one within him all along. Literally.
Right on the underside of your earlobe.
What? Where?
Here I am!
The reason this whole story was strung together, the reason why this boring-ass elephant has been involved this whole time, is because he has a flea stuck in his earwax. It's a plot twist for the sake of a plot twist, and it doesn't make the story even an iota better than it was before. In fact, you can't even see this character, so it's just one less animation, I guess. Talk about lazy and stupid. And so it's time to wrap this whole thing up. Confrontation time. Their ship is disabled by a beam. Nuke says he feels fresh and itch-free for once, despite never scratching throughout this entire runtime. And then Boo Boo Squill starts scratching. How Filippo the Flea got over there, or what their plan was in the first place on either side, is just not important.
Where are you?
I'm here!
And then this repeats for a while. Filippo changes from biting to tickling, and then they claim the power of the source has turned against him, despite the fact that no source powers are being used this entire time. It's just ship technology and the anatomy of a flea doing bites. Like, absolutely nothing comes together for this final moment. Everyone calls it impressive that this is happening somehow. Boo Boo Squill just keeps on laughing from the tickles, and then he gives up. And the others sigh in relief. Peace will now reign among all the animals. even though like the office animals certainly didn't notice anything beforehand, and that's it. Ending it off, there's a ceremony, of course, as is the Star Wars tradition. In this case, a wedding between the princess and Squeezy, and though they said they couldn't wed because their families wouldn't mesh, there's no family to see at all here, just the models of everyone we've seen so far, including the entire club's worth of dancers. And then it continues more anyway, with Boo Boo Squeal calling for revenge and then being tickled again.
Jeez.
Yeah, buddy, I feel the exact same. Hey, wait, is this the same credit sequence as the opening? I think it is. Man, absolutely every corner that could be cut was. No wonder there was a specific credit for these credits. And I feel like every name I see here is like having a negative effect. I wouldn't want my name on this. And then it's followed up by the slowest serious credits in history. Fantastic. This film, no, I don't really have the words to justify it. The animation was efficient in how everything was pre-prepped, and yet they still did the minimum effort for so many shots. So many dead models. There were 9 animators on this somehow. The greatest part of the production was the camera that was clearly being misused. Again, this was all done in Unreal Engine, so it could have been great visually. But all the textures were off, none of the characters fit the same universe, and it's all just abhorrent. And there is no story. Not really, it's just an elongated dialogue back and forth of the most basic plot point you can surmise. And the voice acting weren't great either. Taking the overacting aside, each VA was far too overstretched for their roles that they really just bled into each other, and some just couldn't act full stop or had their lines poorly crammed together in the sound design. How is it when you look at the credits, Squeezy Whistle doesn't appear as a credit at all? Is he one of the additional voices? What is this? I really thought we'd get a saboteur at the start, but it's just the same voice being used. And as for the words they say anyway, my god, am I sick of this elephant's reactions to everything.
Whoa. Wow. Whoa. Wow. Whoa. 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 Just whoa.
Is that seriously all he has to say over everything going on? What terrible writing. This film made some money, believe it or not. Worldwide, it got $8,998. So I guess for some, it was worth it. Not for me. And you know, I could do a deep dive into why this film was so bad, but I can't be bothered really. These guys just didn't try. I did look up actually the director's IMDb page, and it says a lot. This is his history. And you'll notice in 2018 alone, the same year as this film, he did 16 other movies. They just spat them out every 3 weeks. And we've got plenty more to pick up. Great. Apparently this is one of their better ones too. The characters always sit, they pad scenes for 10 minutes, exposition dump, and add twists that add no value. That is Zoo Wars. And they made a sequel, ripping off Spider-Verse 2. Oh god. This is definitely a bottom tier movie we've covered. Let's say it's better than Bulk, but worse than Billy. That looks about right to me. Thanks for coming to my tier list. For now, I'm gonna wish I was anywhere but here. My name's been Dazz. Fine. I skipped it before, we'll do it now.
Sauce.
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 Sauce. Sauce. Sauce. Sauce. Sauce. Sauce.
Sauce.
Sauce.
Sauce. Sauce.
Sauce.
Sauce.
Sauce. Sauce.
Sauce.
Sauce.
The sauce.
Sauce.
Sauce. Sauce. Sauce. Sauce. Sauce.
Sauce.
Sauce.
Sauce.
Sauce!
Sauce. Sauce.
Sauce. Sauce. Sauce. Sauce. Sauce. Sauce.
Sauce. Sauce.
Sauce. Sauce. Sauce.
Sauce.
I hate this life I chose. My name's been Dazz. You didn't really care. Next week we're meshing Marvel with our other series into something else. Give it a guess on our Discord, otherwise I'll see you in a bit.